Support for today's episode comes from Rio Washing. Rio Washing is a local window cleaning company here in southern Utah. They are family owned and operated, providing high quality, customizable service including your windows inside and out, sills, frames, tracks, and screens. They also provide garage door and front door cleaning. They take pride in personal customer service and have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. They can accommodate any request and make your service fully unique to your residence or business. And with the unpredictable weather here in southern Utah, have full weather protection for up to 2 weeks after your service. Visit riowashing.com to schedule your free quote and make your windows look new again. You run your age in years every year.
Yes.
On your birthday. How long have you done that?
I want to say.
When did that cry for help start?
6 years, 7 years. and it started, this is how it started. It was my brother-in-law. He's like, yeah, I know this guy. He, every year, just as kind of a good push.
Yeah.
I always do he runs his age in miles. And I was like, that is the single worst idea I've ever heard. And I want to do that. That sounds great.
Yes, to me. Yeah. I'm not going to do it. I might eat my age in cupcakes every year, but I'm not.
You should do that. What a good goal.
Finding Faith in Funny. My name is Chase. Thank you for listening. And yes, I'm back. Did not have a voice, could not do this show. So we gave the reins over to our friend Dustin Anderson, and he did a great job. And if the listens and the downloads are any indication, a lot of you thought he did a great job as well, because boy, did those numbers go up. It's a little bit humbling knowing that the only thing holding this podcast back from really growing is me. Luckily, we have a guest today. But before we get into that, if you do enjoy what Dustin did on this, go give his podcast a listen. It's called I Hope It Helps, and it's about 30 minutes long, and he's just killing it, and he's just Dustin. Also, Dustin is headlining our show at the Electric Theater here in St. George on May 29th. Tickets are on sale for that at dynamicwitcomedy.com. So, with that in mind, let's talk about today's guest. Today's guest is the kind of guy that makes you question your life choices while he's casually running past you at mile marker 47. I sat down with Josh Connor. He's an ultra runner, and we're talking multiple marathons, and in the most inspiring way possible, he's a complete psychopath. This dude knocked out a 100-mile race on foot just like it was a casual Saturday. Every year on his birthday, he runs his age in miles, which sounds like fun until you realize that problem's only going to get worse as time goes on. Oh, and because that wasn't enough, he also holds the Guinness World Record for the fastest half marathon dressed like a cowboy. Because apparently running 13.1 miles isn't hard enough unless you add jeans, chaps, a lasso, and a cowboy hat. But underneath the insanity is something really powerful. Josh shares perspective on endurance, pain, discipline, and what it actually means to keep going even when you don't want to, when everything around you makes you want to quit. And somehow he makes it funny as we talk. And this episode is about pushing limits, laughing through pain, and maybe realizing that you're capable of more than you think. Or at the very least, capable of jogging to your mailbox without complaining. So this is Finding Faith in Funny. Let's get into it with our guest, Josh Connor. Test.
Hello.
Yeah, you're
Are we
good.
about the same?
Yeah. You're doing the intro?
Yes.
Go for it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dustin Anderson. Coming to you live from not live from St. George, Utah. Chase McPhee is not with us. He is still sick. He has gout and an ovarian cyst flare up that we don't want to talk about. But anyways, my wife Lindsay and I, we have been married for I can't really remember, anywhere between 14 and 35 years. We have 2 children that I love dearly, Blanche and McFeagle. I love them both. Anyways, the other day I was doing a set in Cleveland, And I love Cleveland. Just got a good vibe to the city. Anyways, the crowd was like, "Hey, Dustin," and I said, "What? You look a lot like Josh Connor." And he's like, "Oh, really? That's crazy." And then I woke up from this dream. Here I am. Anyways, that was about it. And look at this. Here is Chase McPhee.
Back from the dead.
Wow, you're feeling better. I was wishing you a speedy recovery, but I'm glad you're here. I'm really super
also,
glad
Dustin,
you're here.
thanks for headlining our show in May.
You're welcome. It's a lot. It's the least I could do. Oh, and for those that don't understand what just happened, tune into last week's show.
Yep.
It'll all make sense to you. Subscribe, share with your friends. Also get 10 friends to also do the same thing.
Yes.
And they can get 10 friends
Pyramid
as well.
scheme. I like that.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Man, most of my followers are probably from him. I'm just
Yes.
I'm gonna have
Yes.
him. Well, he has 500,000 followers.
Really?
Jennifer Aniston follows that guy, and Pink follows that guy, and so I'm like, I'm gonna have him do something for the show every 6 weeks, and just
Absolutely.
let ride that wave.
Yeah.
So
Say, this is my retirement. Get me there.
yeah,
Come on,
pretty
Dustin.
much. Well, he had a huge following before he started his podcast, and so then he started his podcast, and that's just taken off. So I'm like, all right,
We're going with it.
good thing I was friends with him before all of that.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
So
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
meet you too, and thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm intrigued the whole thing because I have an angle with anyone I talk to.
Okay.
You ran a 100-mile race.
100-mile race. Correct.
Why?
So, oh man.
Like on foot.
Correct.
Not
100
like
mile,
a-
100-mile foot race, which to understand the distance of that, you'll understand this. It is the distance between St. George and Las Vegas. That's 100 miles. Or basically Sun River, St. George to like Nellis Air Force Base. That's about 100 miles on foot
yeah.
in a day.
Well, it's like you running from here to Beaver. From here to the creamery in Beaver. Like that's almost exactly 100
Yeah.
miles.
So rewind, this is 20, well, even rewind more. I'm in high school. I did cross country. One of the main reasons to do cross country in high school is it's a sport you can do with the girls.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's perfect. Anyways, quit running after high school. Then 2016, I'm an old man and my buddy says, dude, I didn't even know we're old man. Let's go do the St. George Marathon. Let's train for this thing. So I trained for it, ran the marathon. About 2 weeks after that, I just felt like this urge, like go running again. I thought it was a one and done, but I was like, yeah, let's do this. So I just started running. Haven't quit since then, 2016. Anyways, I got into a bad group of friends.
Okay.
That was, really a terrible group of friends, ultra running friends.
Yeah.
I read this book by Corey Reese. He's a local running legend here, ultra running legend here. He wrote a book called Nowhere Near First. I read this book, and it was such a relatable book. It was all about this like normal person that would like run these 100-mile races that started out at like the 5K and then he did the half marathon. And it was just so relatable that I'm like, dude, I think I could do this. And then I got into that bad group of friends. And before long, I was like the only one in this big group that I felt like had not done the 100-mile race.
Yeah.
You run a 100-mile race, the prize is a belt buckle.
Which I've seen you wear.
Which I shower with. I will not take it off ever.
Yeah.
So I love the belt buckle. But it was like, since that point, since probably 2018, I have been chasing that ridiculous buckle.
And you got it in 24?
Got it in 24. I mean, it was like, I know what it takes to get there. And every year it would like, okay, I sit down with my wife and I say, Amber, is this the year that I'm going to go for my 100 miler? And she's like, look, we have 3 kids in diapers. No, we need you here. Like, that's so much time that you're going to be putting out on the trail.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. So finally it was like, okay, I think we're there. This is it. You can just go run your stupid race, get it over with. And then I got injured and I had to postpone till the next year, and that was 2024. So got it done.
The relief of crossing that finish line after all that. You just break down in tears.
Oh, it was
break down physically and all together.
Absolutely, tons of tears. It's said that in a 100-mile race, you feel every emotion.
Yeah.
In a lifetime,
I'm sure,
packed into a 24-hour spot. So all the highest highs, the ecstasy, the worst depression, the worst feelings you've ever had, every feeling like that within that time slot.
Well, I dated a girl really seriously who ran the St. George Marathon every year. Mm-hmm. I haven't dated her since 2011, but I mean, I went 4 years in a row to the finish line, and just training for that, she would go through the emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, her dad died when she was 2. There was a lot of pain there. But there were times I saw her like jumping for joy across the finish line, and other times just barely like just the ups and downs of it. Mm-hmm. And it's got to be a roller coaster.
Oh, it is huge, and probably crossing that finish line and swearing off running altogether.
But you haven't sworn it off.
No, I haven't.
But because the end of a marathon, it looks like a benefit for people with cerebral palsy. The way they're walking,
absolutely,
just no one can bend their legs, and you're just.
And the day after, if you could see all of us the day after, and it's just. The best way I can describe it is like a drunken pilot or drunken pirate with 2 peg legs. You can barely walk, and your legs don't bend anymore. And you're like, why did I do this?
My dad ran it in 93, right after I turned 7. He ran it, and then we drove home the same day. Which was in Salt Lake. So 4 hours after running a marathon, and we got home and he couldn't stand up out of the car on his own. He's like, I need
Come
help.
On, let's go. I got
one
you.
Leg at a time. One leg at a time. I've never, because when you're 7, your dad is like Superman, and it's like, he can't do anything.
Yeah.
So there's every time I've been to the finish line, I think I'm going to do this. And then I think you guys run here from Vail or Central, or I'm just like, Just looking at that Vail Hill.
The hardest part about St. George Marathon, I think the mental struggle with the race is you get bussed from right in the middle of town, Vernon Worthen Park, clear up to Central. So you have to drive the entire race in the bus, and the whole time, and it's like 4:00 in the morning.
And he just keeps going.
Cold, and you're just like, I have to travel all this on foot? Are you kidding me? And you keep driving and driving all in this cramped little stinky school bus, shoulder to shoulder with these other buffoons that are running the same thing with you, and you're like, are you kidding me? I have to travel all this distance on foot?
How many of them are going to do it with a lasso like you did, though?
Oh, probably just the smart ones are not going to do that. I had to do that just for funsies.
Well, I've seen people do it like bouncing a basketball.
Yep.
Kristen has a friend who does it dressed like Batman the whole race, and I think you're doing a race with a mask on, and it's got to be awful. And then I saw the pictures of you with the lasso and the cowboy hat. That sounds about right.
That stems from a Guinness World Record that I did in 2019.
Okay.
So my buddy was telling me, he was like, dude, I think I want to go for this Guinness World Record. And I'm like, no, that's for like legitimate athletes. That's not for like normal people like us. What are you doing? Of course not. So I started looking at some of the records in my dentist's office, and I was like, oh, look at this one. Fastest half marathon dressed as a cowboy. and I was like, that time's actually attainable.
And you're like, I could do that.
I could do that. So I went through the whole process, submitted everything to Guinness. It was like a year-long process.
Yeah.
Submitted everything to them. You have to like, they say red handkerchief, long white shirt, jeans, full jeans, leather chaps. And you have to, leather chap, cowboy hat, leather vest. They do all this stuff. You can wear regular tennis shoes, but like you have to submit pictures to Guinness to get the approval. You got to have race director's signature. You have to have like 3 people filming you like the entire time.
Yeah.
So anyways, went through all that with the lasso, and so I kind of got that old lasso out in the cowboy. And this last year I was like, I get to now do the St. George Marathon just for funsies, and I'm just gonna lasso people.
Wait, so did you do a half marathon in jeans?
Yeah. In jeans,
chafed beyond reason.
I wasn't too bad because I trained that way. There's a saying, nothing new on race day. So there it was. Runners look weird anyway.
Yeah.
But there I was like running down the main road here in 11 pounds of gear. 11 pounds of leather and in August, running down the road, and people are, what is this guy doing? And I'd come home anyways. But yeah, nothing new on race day. So that's how I would train. Like once a week, I would get in all the gear and do that. But.
Okay. So between running the 100-mile race and your church calling, is there any chance that running a 100-mile race was just a way to avoid longer church meetings, like just to get yourself out of that?
No, not quite. No, I would. Yeah, yeah. No, it was. And I usually am like, okay, Sunday's the day off. I'm not gonna run that day, and we're all right. But yeah, it does take. I also try to have running not affect my home life.
Okay, that's good.
So not to affect kids. I'm leaving again. So. Which means you're getting up, if you're training, you're getting up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, doing your thing. I got to be at work at 7.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get it all done. So the kids don't even know you're doing your thing.
And then at night, trying not to be so tired to be present with them, I would assume.
Yeah. And Saturdays are rough because a lot of times, like if you're training for something long, Saturdays, you'll go out for a 20-mile run, like a 4-hour run or something like that. And you come back and you're like, sorry, honey, you know that to-do list that you had me do? Well, I'm kind of hamburger meat right now. I'm like,
I can't do it.
I'm going to try my best, but.
So how much of it is just like an argument with your brain on those long runs? Like, or is it endorphins the whole time? Or is there a point where you have to like really tell your brain to be quiet so you can just keep going?
Oh man. I think the runner's high is a myth myself. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I think I've had the quote unquote runner's high maybe twice in my life.
Yeah.
And other than that, you just kind of get lost in your thoughts. And this sounds weird to non-runners, but once you like land a certain level of running fitness, it becomes like a motorcycle ride. It's like I happen to be... Right. Yeah, I'm going along on this dirt single track trail on some mountain road somewhere, and you're just like enjoying the movement and you're smelling the smells and you're enjoying it. Sometimes I listen to music, most of the time I don't. A lot of times like I'll run just with people and you just get lost in conversation and you're like, oh yeah, I happen to be running too.
You're like, I've already gone 6 miles. Like it's just,
it just kind of disappears. But it's...
The girl I was dating, so I was trying to get in shape and stuff at the time, and she had always said if I married her I'd have to run the marathon. I was like, okay, what's your...
I don't think things are going to work out between us two. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, but like I would go for little runs, and she's like, I'll go for a run with you. I was like, cool. And I knew I wouldn't keep up. I was like, whatever. So we ran from where my dorm was by the college to the St. George Temple is back. Maybe round trip 3/4 of a mile, if that. And I was like, oh, it was a good run. And she was like, that's not even what I do for a warm-up. Like, her warm-up was 1.5 miles, and then she would go
She's
for
like,
her run.
Now I'm good to go.
I was just like...
well, I'm winded. I'm done.
I was like, let me know when you're home, because I'm going to go watch the game on the couch and eat nachos. Like, so it's a different mentality. But you said a few weeks ago, like, it's all the same, like, avoidance, like, you're almost running away from something or something like that. Maybe that wasn't your words, but, like, there's a mental illness factor to it.
I think that you can really be like a sane runner, but when you get into some of the ultras, and anyway, ultra marathon, anything longer than a marathon. So once you get into 50K, which is like 31 miles plus, I really think that in this community, there is like so much awareness of mental health and depression. And it's just like, we get it.
Yeah.
There's skeletons in the closet. Like there's so much there that I think it's like, I have to dig so deep to be able to finish this adventure run or to get through this or to push through, I'm injured or something, to be able to get through that there's, I don't know.
So it's therapeutic. It's not therapy, but it's therapeutic.
Absolutely therapeutic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you'll probably find this out. A lot of runners, it's just like, look, I'm stressed. you go out for a run and it just helps process. And I think when you have movement, there's some mental clarity there.
Well, like when I was on my mission, because you wake up and you work out on your mission. It was like the first 30 minutes as a missionary is working out. I struggled with homesickness growing up. The 5-day scout camps you go on, I was usually home by Wednesday night. Like I'm 90% sure.
I'm so done.
My ward was placing bets how long I'd really last for 2 years.
Sure.
Now my dad was going through a divorce from my stepmom, and that made it really easy to be like, I'm going to go on a 4-year mission just so I don't have to be here. But that workout at the beginning, like in the MTC, probably got me through it because me and my companion would race to the gym. We'd play basketball. The endorphins would get going, and I'd be like, okay, I can get through today now.
I can get through today. That's
that
key.
Was it.
That's huge right there. I can get through today.
Well,
not this week, but I'm good for today.
Which was big for me because thinking of 2 years or 3 weeks as a whole was I remember feeling good after 2 weeks, and I got that letter from my aunt that said 2 weeks down, 102 to go. And it was just like devastating to me on my mission. I was just like,
horrible.
She was being funny. But in that moment, I was like, are you kidding me?
I don't know if I can do that.
I was like, and then I was looking at the newbies coming in 2 weeks after I did. I'm like, they'll probably go home before I will. Or every sister missionary here will be home 6 months before I will. This is like, it would spiral me. But I told my dad, if I get through the 3 weeks of the MTC, I'll be fine. And that proved to be true.
Yeah.
But that first morning workout, the endorphins, okay, I can get through today. I can get to the bed tonight.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's really good.
So with running, it's probably like, okay, I can get to the next mile. And then metaphorically probably helps.
At least at first.
Yeah.
I think at first you have to have that as, well, training for anything. It doesn't matter what it is, but can I get through this next, they say the run the mile you're in. Yeah. So can I get to this one?
Well, I remember starting out doing open mics. Just the fear of getting up there was bad enough. And I got through my the first time I got laughs and did like 2 minutes. I was like, that was awesome. I don't know if I ever want to do it again. And then I would go to a professional show and I'd see these other open micers get up and do 10 minutes before the headliner. I'd think, how do they do 10 minutes? That's unbelievable to me. In my mind, I was like, I don't need to do 10 minutes. I'm just glad I can do it sometimes. And then that first time you do 10 minutes, you're like, I want more. You just keep chasing it.
And I think that all comedians are some of the most intelligent people. I remember Jay Leno talking about this, that he's just like, you have to be so sharp. You have to man, and you got to be so witty and be able to take what the crowd's going to throw at you and remember everything, remember your whole set.
And I always have a note card or something on the stage. Mm-hmm. I try not to ever look at it, but I have to have it there. I've gone up a few times without it, but I have to know. I just have to see a little bullet point to remind me what's next. Because if the crowd laughs or something throws me off, it's like I've never written a joke before in my life, and it's a total reset. It's just, but as far as running here, it's you get to that point where you said where you don't even know you're running. There's times where I'm in the zone on stage where it's it's all autopilot, and I dare someone to heckle me because they won't win. But a lot of times it's if someone talks to me, I'm going to forget everything I've ever
Or what you were saying a couple of shows ago, that you almost gave the same joke twice.
Yeah.
That, you were so much in that kind of that zone right there, that autopilot that you're like, did I already say that? Hold on. Rewind. Hold on. Wait.
So Dana Carvey said comedy is just learning how to tell the same story for the first time over and over and over. And so I won't do my sets in the same order. And so sometimes I'll finish a bit and then I have to focus, be like, I already did that one. The fact that it's only happened once when I started a repeated joke baffles me.
And you stopped it, right?
I did.
You were
and I drew attention to it and I was able to play off of it, but it's only a matter of time before I don't recognize it.
But it's the same thing, when you see plays and stuff like that, you see somebody who messes up on their line, and instead of I forgot that one, they play it off, keep going. That's the art.
Yeah. On any of your long runs, have you ever hallucinated?
Yes.
Were they supportive?
No. Actually, for my the 100-miler down there, I got terrible sleep the night before when it's so crucial.
Yeah.
Is I got to get up early and I got to go a little bit late, and it was maybe an hour of sleep, maybe 2 hours of sleep, and then you know that you're going to be staying up for 24 plus hours after that. So when I was getting close to the end of my 100-mile race, oh, and by the way, it was all on a 1 mile track, 1 mile paved. Well, most of it was paved loop in Henderson, Nevada, by Las Vegas. Anyways, I was coming around, and I remember looking up, and the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
I saw the Sphere right there in front of me, and I remember running towards that, being like, I had no idea we were this close to the Sphere, and like I saw like a weird face
Henderson?
on it. Yeah. I'm in Henderson, and I saw like a weird face on it and some shadows and stuff like that, and I just kept staring at it, and when I was like right under it, blink a couple of times, and there was like a big tree with the street light above it. But forever, I saw like faces in this thing, but that was about it. But I guess one of the good, and this is the kind of a tip for life, I was trying to get all of the advice that I could before my race. And one of them was from the Yellow Runner, who said, you need to plan on all these bad things happening, so when they happen, it doesn't catch you off guard.
Yeah.
I will get blisters.
Yeah.
Don't know when. So then when it hits you, you're just like, oh, there's my blisters. Okay, now we know to deal with that. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
I will be puking at some point during this. When it comes, hey, there it is. I'm probably going to hallucinate. When is it going to come in the race? I don't know when, but you plan on that. And I guess, maybe it's a pessimistic way of looking at life.
No, it's good to be prepared.
I'm probably going to get a flat tire at some point. Hey, look at that.
But it's like, I guess you're not dreading it, though. And I think that's why it's not pessimistic. You're not dreading, you've already accepted, okay, this is going to happen. When it happens, great. I know what to do. And we move, like, you're not dreading those moments.
Anticipating.
You're anticipating.
Yeah.
I think
it's going to come.
So,
there it is.
How do you sleep before the night? Because I know if I run a marathon, I won't sleep the night before. Just the anticipation. I will hear phantom alarms. Like I worked at 2:00 this morning, and at like 1:00, I was like, did I miss it? Like
I slept through my alarm. I know I did.
Like I don't sleep, or the night before a show, the night before a big game I want to watch that I have nothing to do with. I don't sleep the night before. I just anticipate and so. 100. I don't know how you get any rest before any run you do.
Well, and I get, I for my profession, I'm in sleep medicine. I am the worst sleeper of anyone. Insomnia, it's bad. I don't practice what I preach and everything. So no, I don't like right out the gate. I'm owning that. Yeah. I am not a good sleeper.
Okay.
I don't have good sleep hygiene and sleep health and everything. With that being said, that night it was like, body, I am so serious. You need to sleep right now. Take some melatonin. Come on, baby. And it was just not happening because I was thinking of so many things that I needed to pack and prepare for to leave early enough, to leave at like 3:00 in the morning, to drive 2 hours to Vegas, to then get set up, get camp set up, get registered, and then get going. But no, it was terrible, terrible sleep. Wish I could have gotten it, a little better. But even like early morning runs with friends, a lot of times I'll have insomnia nights those nights, and I'm sitting there at like 2:30 in the morning going, body, I promise you need to sleep.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
It's like the night before I left on my mission and the night before I came home from my mission, the exact same, like, holy crap, what am I doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Like so again, every time Utah plays BYU, I don't sleep the night before because I just anticipate that game so much because it meant so much to me as a kid and it's still there. It doesn't throw me through the wall like it used to, make or break my whole year, but I get so excited to watch them. I'm just like,
Well, and what Dustin said last week, that he said that you are actually a BYU closet fan.
No.
And he's like, anything from here forward is just a lie that you like University of Utah. So, that's great. It's good to know.
One of the biggest guilt trips I ever had wasn't even meant to be a guilt trip, but I remember talking to my dad how much I hated BYU when I think I was like 18. And his dad, who was like a professor at both universities, the only game a year he would not watch is when they played each other because he couldn't handle it. Like he loved both so much. So he'd watch every game for every team. So when I started going to he's like, why? my grandpa was just like, why? Tell me why you hate them. Give me one good reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't do it. I'm like, I should get some perspective on this so I don't have, just because like I had nothing to say to him. I was like, he would not put up with hatred of any kind for anything, but especially something so stupid as a football team.
Sure. But it's your team. I mean, you root for your team.
It's my childhood.
You don't like the other. Yeah.
I grew up, most of my cousins and aunts and uncles are all BYU. But my dad went to the U, and you're born in the faith of your fathers.
Right.
We were kind of the wild ones there. Okay. What's the weirdest thought you've had while running that many miles?
I think a lot of,
So like, are you trying to solve world peace or just trying to get to your next snack? Like, how does it all, you say you kind of zone out, but I guess your thoughts go everywhere.
You zone out, but at the same time, it's a chess game. So I don't know, as you're going along, you let's just say you run a marathon, you eat a banana, an orange, Gatorade, and you cross the finish line because it takes, we'll say, anywhere between 3 and 5 hours.
Yeah.
Most people somewhere between the 3 and 5 hour mark. You do anything longer, you need to worry. You're moving forward for 24 hours or so. You need solid food. So you got to keep track of, have I gone pee? Like, what was the last thing I drank? How many calories am I having? Because a lot of times you say like, okay, our goal is 200 calories per hour that I need to be taking in. Because if you do too much, you can puke. Too little, like you can gut bomb.
Yeah.
And I know so many of my friends that have gone out of races because of their gut, because of they can't get their nutrition right, and that happens. But I would say one of the weirdest thoughts that happens so often is when you kind of can stop and look back at yourself and like third person and be like, what am I even doing? I am traveling this long distance for what? For a buckle. This is what I'm chasing here?
Yeah.
Like, I am so miserable. I hate life right now. I hate myself right now. Everybody around me, I just want to punch them. And
you can't explain it to non-runners.
Right.
You can't.
And then it's like, I swear off running altogether. I am so done with this. I hate this. And then you find yourself like 5 minutes later, a little pain that you have, a twinge on your hip, kind of loosens up a little bit. Then you get some food in you and you're kind of like, I think we can keep going here.
But it's probably great for perspective in the long run, just to clear your head too.
Definitely. Kind of a reset. Okay. Let's, what are we actually doing? Okay, we have a task to do here. Let's get this done.
My anxiety before shows, I don't go out and like mingle with people as they're coming in. I prefer not to talk to anyone.
After you do.
By force.
By force.
Okay, I would rather disappear out the back door and go home and just have my wife tell me what people said. Like that, that's the most uncomfortable part of the whole night is after the show. But I will take a long walk before. You saw me walking to a show at the convention center.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-mile walk. It's all calculated. So you've been to shows at the Electric Theater. While everyone else is on stage, I'm usually walking to the temple and back. While the show's running. I
offered you a ride. Hey, Jake, get in here. Come on. And you're like, I'm actually I'm preparing my material for
in my head, I was like, don't you dare. Like just I have a set list or a playlist on Spotify. I have to hear certain songs that just kind of put me in the right, and it's the most random mix, one of which is a Barry Manilow song. So
really,
it is,
and that puts you there. Good old Barry.
Any song on that
Barry
list,
pulls through. Yes, good job, Barry.
Any song on there, I have a funny memory with, and so it just kind of gets the giggles going, and then I'm okay. But the whole distance of like the fresh air, I go from what am I doing? Why do I sign up for this? Why am I craving the validation of 300 strangers that I'll never see again versus the people who actually love me? Why do I need them to laugh at this? And then as I'm going, I'm like, because this is awesome and it's the best feeling in the world and I'm going to keep doing it. Like, it's just, that walk is essential for me.
How similar are these? This is crazy.
So
interesting.
I did the Western Legends Cowboy Festival in Kanab. Have you ever been to that?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So they offered, I don't know if I've told you this, but yeah, they offered me to do comedy on a Friday afternoon at 2:00 in the gym and Saturday at 2:30 in the gym. I had to work till noon. And so Chris and I jumped in the car and sped all the way to Kanab, and it was pouring rain, which means everyone who's outside went into the gym. But there's also shops around the gym, like around the stage. No one was listening. And I was like, okay. So I was supposed to do 45 minutes. I did like 20. No one was listening. I just got off. And I told the lady, I'm like, I will go for as long as I feel like someone's paying attention. She's like, that's fair. She's like, Saturdays are better. More of a crowd will be here. You're going after cowboy poetry. It'll be great. I was like, great. So I go into the gym Saturday. Cowboy poetry's going. And there's like 6 people up there. They get up, each recite a poem. Mm-hmm. And the seats are maybe a quarter full. Cowboy poetry ends. Half of the people who are there leave with it. And they say, okay, now we have a comedian. And like 5 more people get up and leave. And so at this point, there's like 12 people sitting there.
All of them were your relatives.
None of them.
All of them.
Kristen was my only one, and an ex-girlfriend's mom randomly showed up because she had her booth was there. So she went.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I tell my first joke, and the rest of them leave, and it's just Kristen and this lady. And so after like 6 minutes, I was like, I'm done. And I swore off comedy. I'm like, this is done. The perspective wasn't there. That was not a moment set up for me to be successful. No one would have been. But that got in my head so bad for like 2 months where I just couldn't. It was right after that I spoke in our ward for the first time. Mm-hmm. That's the first time I didn't look up while giving a talk. Like my confidence was shot from that.
Oh, man.
And so I finally got a show with Rodney Norman, who's a comedian, and he was a philosophy major. He just has a way of calming me down. So I was telling him about all this stuff, and he goes, you know what's wrong with you? I said, what? He goes, you're stupid. I was like, what? He goes,
thank you. Have a good night. All righty. This is great.
And his point was, you care so much about what you think everyone's thinking. No one remembers you. Like, they don't care. Just go have fun. And then that calmed me down. And that was up in Springdale. So I walked the length of Springdale, then got back to the theater before the show, and I was fine. And I've been fine ever since. He just
what a good perspective.
Yeah, he goes, it's because you're stupid. I was just like, all right, that works.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Good to think on that. Okay, but no, it's very true.
So, do church members ever ask you for advice, and you're just kind of like, why don't you go run 40 miles and think about it? Is that ever your advice to someone?
No.
Or your kids even
well. I always, my wife makes fun of me because she's like, your sport was my sport's punishment. Okay. So you do something in basketball, you show up late, take a lap.
Yep.
You're in football, you're, softball, whatever, you do something bad, take a lap. So she would always make fun of, she's playing soccer in high school and everybody's running around the track. The cross-country people, they're doing loops around this stupid track. And she's like, at least get a ball, dribble it, kick it, do something, you weirdos. So, I love it. Running is beautiful. It's good. I have encouraged other people that have come up to me that are just like, so I'm training, Josh Gasper, I'm training for this, this half marathon. And I'm like, let's go you're fast. And I'm like, no, I can very much walk with you. That's fine. But I just love the movement. But getting fresh air and movement can heal. It can bring perspective. Mm-hmm. You felt that. Yeah. You just, there's clarity there.
If I can, in the summertime, if I have a show coming up, I will go fishing by myself in Pine Valley, just on like a Tuesday afternoon where everyone else is at work, just getting away from everything. And all of a sudden I'll think of a new bit, or I'll get really excited to
just a good reset.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's
what you need though.
You get away from everything you're worried about. Because when you're in the mountains, like, you're not worried about real life things.
Yeah.
You realize it's all frivolous. You're like, I'm catching fish from the middle of nowhere, and it's fantastic.
That is great. I love it.
Okay, only a couple more. You run your age in years every year on your birthday. How long have you done that?
I want to say.
When did that cry for help start?
6 years, 7 years. and it started. This is how it started. It was my brother-in-law. He's like, yeah, I know this guy. He every year just is kind of a good push.
Yeah.
I always do he runs his age in miles. And I was like, that is the single worst idea I've ever heard. And I want to do that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So let's figure this out and do it. And my birthday is at the worst time. Those of you listening that aren't aware of the climate in St. George, it is 192 degrees in August.
Yeah.
My birthday right there at the 1st of August, and it is blazing hot. So I typically
start at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I start at 2 o'clock in the morning. Usually I'm done by 10, 11 o'clock, but I try to do age in miles. I do this hard push, and now if anybody knows what a misogi is, that's kind of I didn't even know, like I had been doing this, but once I learned about that, it's like you do this physically challenging thing once a year, this misogi, and it helps put the rest of the difficulties of kind of the next year into perspective.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like I pushed through this uncomfortable thing in so much pain, and I got through it. I'm pretty sure I can sit through that board meeting.
Yeah.
Or I have this difficult thing. I got this child that's causing all these problems, and I'm stressing over, and I'm losing sleep. And it's like, well, compared to that, I think that's easy. I think I could get this.
See, it's easy for me to sit here and make fun of these ideas until you put it in perspective. I'm like, that makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I might eat my aging cupcakes every year, but I'm not.
You should do that. What a good goal. Just the push.
I'm hitting the big 4-0 this August. My birthday's in August too.
You got to do something big.
Well, Kristen hates it because I don't go all out for my birthday. She's like, "Can I throw you a party?" I'm like, "No."
But that's not your style.
That's not my style.
It's her style.
But for 40th, she told me, she's like, "I'm going all out for your birthday, for your 40th," and so she has something planned. I don't know what.
But you, like you said, you wanted a birthday at Pine Valley with your fishing pole, and
that's how I did Father's Day last year. The Saturday before Father's Day, she was like, "What do you want?" It's like, "I want 4 hours. That's what I want." And I got up at 6 in the morning.
Clock out, punch out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go where there's no cell service, and I took my charcoal, caught what I ate, came home. It was wonderful. But yeah, that's not my style. Chris and I are polar opposites in that, because she's like, "Let's have a party," and I'm like, "Great, I'll put the kids to bed." And I don't mind talking to people. I like talking to people. I just don't want to host them.
Sure.
So,
but wait, you called, what did you say your other day on her birthday party? You said you're like an introverted...
An introverted narcissist type
introverted
thing.
Narcissist.
Something like that. It's, like, I love that I'm the only one on stage and everyone's laughing. It's like heroin in the veins, I would assume.
Yes.
But the moment it's done, I wish no one was there. But I'll go stand because I feel like I owe it to be able to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this. But I am more uncomfortable talking to 4 of my best friends than I am 300 strangers.
Yeah.
And I'd rather give a talking conference than teach primary.
You just want to hit the trap door button and just disappear, poof, and then land in your Batmobile and drive off into the sunset.
In the same vain, narcissistic way, I still want everyone to say good, nice things about me. I just don't want it to be to my face. So I'm like...
You don't want to take the compliment.
I don't. It makes me feel so vulnerable. I hate it. Which is why I don't tell... Kristen tells people I do comedy more than I do. Because I don't want people I know... One of the shows you came to, my mother-in-law was there. I didn't know she was coming until right before the show. Kristen goes, "See that chair that's blocked off? That's for my mom." I was just like, oh, it'd be so much better if you didn't tell me that. It'd be so much better if I was just loose. Because I don't want people there. So
because you think there's an expectation? Is that it? You're going,
if it goes bad, I feel accountable to them.
Okay.
I did it for a whole year before I told a single soul I ever was doing it. because it did go bad and I didn't want anyone to know. So if I invite people, I have to stack the deck where I know it'll be a good show. And there's no real way to be sure of that.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
Okay.
That's fair.
So, do you feel closer to God at mile 80 or just closer to seeing God at mile 80?
Okay, so I think I felt very, very close to God. Well, I have this little video of my effort here, my 100-miler. But the most I'd ever run up to running the 100 miles is 72 miles.
Okay.
Most I'd ever put down on my legs in one solid, like 15-hour push or something
72.
like that. So 72 miles. So I was looking at my watch and I'm like, I don't know what my body will do after 72 miles. Yeah. Will it implode?
Yeah.
Will I have explosive diarrhea? I don't know. I have no idea. So running around, and I'm looking at my watch, and it's dark. Okay, yeah. I've gone all through the night.
Yeah.
Looking at my watch, got to 72 miles, and the sun was barely, I mean, even before that, when I was like at like 71 and a half miles, the sun was barely starting to come up. So when I got to 72 miles, this is going to sound ridiculous and stupid and everything, but go around that little loop and I'm on one side of the lake and I see the most beautiful sunset I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I felt like God is hugging me right now.
He's cheering
saying,
you on.
Guess what? You just beat this impossible goal of beating your 72 miles. I'm giving you a heavenly light show right now.
That's so cool.
Big old hug.
Yeah.
And it was all the tears in the world. I'm pretty sure I had to just go and drink just of all the fluid I lost out of my tear ducts there. But it was something special. It was just kind of like, you know what? You are aware of me.
Yeah.
You're aware of the stupid race that I'm running. You know where I am. And that I just conquered this insane thing, and it was just like this heavenly hug that I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
One of those things where I think there's moments in life where you can actually feel God cheering for you, even if it's something, a personal goal like that. Like that's part of what we're supposed to experience, that you did something hard that you set out to do.
Yeah.
And that was your reward for it.
Oh, it was. And it was, it was one of the highlights of the whole thing, of just that one moment. Yes, crossing the finish line was absolutely incredible, but to have that little, right at that exact minute, I mean, it was to the seconds that I look up and just go, oh my, what is happening? This is nuts.
So with all your perspective in that experience, where do you see evidence of God having a sense of humor?
Oh, can we quote J. Golden Kimball?
Please.
Oh, man. He says, I know that God has a sense of humor because he made characters like you.
Yeah.
So I think there's
I like that.
there's a lot of that, you know. No, I think there's humor everywhere. There's when you look at how life pans out, and I don't know, look at even the last week of your life that you're like, are you kidding me? Was this is like heavenly humor that just kind of got sprinkled down here? Oh man, I work at a place. Everybody, I work at this place that my office. It is. I've always said it's like an episode of The Office.
Yeah.
And I see so much humor there, and I try to cause problems all day. It's hilarious, but I do think that you look around and you're like, I know God has a sense of humor because look at all these clowns that are around me and hilarious things that happen all day, every day. It's beautiful.
Built into us. I think we're supposed to laugh because I don't think you can get through life without it. And I think little funny things just happen because we need to laugh.
So this is, I can't think of his name right now, but he said, he was talking about marriage, and he says, let me tell you when a marriage ends. The first thing that goes away is sex. The next thing that goes away is laughter, and then your marriage is done.
Yeah.
So I thought a lot about that, of even with my marriage with my wife, like, when was the last time we laughed together at something? Laughed at our kids, laughed at each other, laughed at something that it's healthy.
Kristen and I have always said that it's good we can't sit next to each other at a temple
Dennis
ceremony.
Prager is the guy's name.
Oh, yeah. Because we would probably laugh our way through it. We're great individual, but together, like, so we met on a dating app on LDS Singles.
You said you met on Family Search.
No.
Ancestry.
Ancestry.com. No. So the truth of it is, it was LDSsingles.com. And my profile just said some of the effect of, my name's Chase, I'm an active Mormon, but I have a loose sense of humor and you can't offend me. And she sent me a message being like, I think that's really cool. But clearly she was taking it on as a challenge. So once we started talking, every time she'd say something that make me laugh, I'd be like, okay, you have my attention. Like, it was our second date. She was trying to show off on the monkey bars and she slipped and she swore. And I completely relaxed. And then we just started laughing. And that's been it. Like, that's just like hearing that. I was like, okay, I can make we can work with this.
Oh, she went on the monkey bars. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
This is great. I got to picture this. I'm gonna ask her if I can see her monkey bar
Well,
swinging skill.
so like,
that's great.
At the time, she didn't know, but I was living in my car. She'd come up to Salt Lake, and so she's like, "Oh, she's going to date." So like, we went to a comedy show. She drove because I lied and told her something was wrong with my car. So she drove. The next day, we went around all of Salt Lake. I took her to a park, and there was like monkey bars and stuff. And
She's like, "You want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Watch this." Did it
she
down.
slipped, and she let a swear word fly. And I was like, "Thank goodness, I am relaxed."
We're gonna be friends.
Completely, yeah. So, well, yeah. So it's that laughter is huge, because like you said, like if you can't laugh, what are you doing? So there's people who want to do the show that I won't do it with because I don't know if I can laugh with them.
Yeah.
They're looking at life a little too heavy for me to be like, okay. So, and you're always happy, so.
Yeah. Try to be, life is good. Okay. I have something here to show Chase. I got a gift for him.
Oh, man.
We're going to give it to him live on the
You've set a record
here
today, by the way.
So,
This is officially the longest episode.
Oh. Is that good or bad?
That's the listens will decide that.
So here's the...
I'm going to have to post this in the...
Okay. So we have a framed picture. We have a framed picture. Who's in this picture there, Chase?
That would be myself and Mr. Barry Manilow. And a little note that says, "Thanks for the laughs, for sharing the stage with me, Barry Manilow."
Those were the days.
Oh, my
Now
gosh.
you can show your kids and you can say, "Listen, Uncle Barry and I, we used to do a set together. We had some good times there."
Sending this to my dad right now. All right.
So hang that up somewhere in a closet or a bathroom.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
That's going right on my bedside table.
And your kids will be like, "Really?"
Yeah,
not a biggie.
The first thing I see in the morning will be my wife, and then I'm going to roll over and be like, "Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Barry."
It's going to be a good day.
Good morning, there, Mr. Barry.
Oh.
Mr. Manilow.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
All right. Josh Connor making us all feel lazy when we were too lazy to get up and change the channel. Josh is out there running around us in circles. Big thanks to Josh. Thank you for listening. Look, if you want to be a guest on here, I will talk to you. I will talk to anyone, as long as I can laugh with you. Send me an email, faithandfunny@gmail.com. If you don't want to be on here but have stuff to say, send it to me. I'll keep you anonymous. No one has to know your story. Nobody has to know that you're funny. I think people should know you're funny, but no one has to know. It can just be our little secret. Big thanks to my kids for making all the background noise in the intro and the outro. Next week, another episode of Finding Faith and Funny. Hope you enjoy.